Hi guys, Killer Shrew Fan here, and today we are going to be taking a look at our next Vitae figure. It's this, the Zhejiangosaurus. I do not know if I am saying that right, but yes, this is our next Vitae model, and we're very excited to take a closer look, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So, starting off at the head of this model, as you can see, it is a very small surface indeed, about as long as my thumbnail, as you can see, so not a lot of surface area to work with. All the same, Vitae have sculpted in this sort of rough sandpaper-esque texture across the board. As you can see, the eye is done in a black dot, and then the beak, unfortunately, doesn't really look like a beak to me. It looks more like a painted-on nose. I'm not sure why that is, but it definitely does not look all that incredible. It's better from this angle, it feels more like a beak, but from the other side, yeah, kinda not so much, and it kinda takes me out of it. Again, it's a very small surface area, so I guess I can't be too upset at them for not, really nailing the look. They really just have to go for the general idea and get that across in as compact a manner as possible. But if we take a look at this thing from the front, I really do like how thick it is and how small the head is in relation to the rest of the body. That looks really, really good. And I love how the spikes look. I mean, this thing I would say displays best from the front or from a top view, but unfortunately you can't really do that on the shelf. If we move down the body, you can see we've got some very big shoulder muscles once we get to the midsection. Then you've got lovely wrinkles and folds of skin around the gut region. The thigh looks incredibly big, stocky, and powerful. And as you can see, you've got lovely treated spikes that run down the length of the tail. Moving back up the opposite side, it's really the same story in terms of the detailing and texture, sort of sandpaper-esque scaling with veins and folds of skin down around the gut. That's probably the best area of sculptural detail on this model, is the folds of skin that we have on the abdomen, and the shoulder musculature going on there is also quite impressive, just how big and strong and powerful it looks in relation to the rest of the body. Taking a quick look at a dorsal region of the creature, I just want to say, this is all gorgeous stuff up here. I absolutely love the way that they handle the armor plating and the spikes and all that stuff, and the sort of grainy armor over the haunches there. And the paint scheme up here is probably at its best too, the way that the colors all blend into each other. It feels organic. The sheen is fitting for this region of the model. It just looks so good. And again, I love how round it is. They really got the shape right on this thing. Taking a look at the underbelly, as you can see, the pectoral region is quite well handled, and I love the wrinkles down in the gullet as well. The swell of the gut is highlighted quite well with all the stretching skin. You can see the Vitae logo there. And something that's interesting is this Vitae model does include a cloaca. None of the other ones that I've seen so far have done that, so it's interesting that they chose to do that on this particular species. But yes, good underbelly on that one. As far as the pose, the feet, the hands, all that stuff goes, it's in this sort of walking pose, craning its head slightly to the left, and I do like the way that the feet on the toes, they splay out as if they're taking the weight of the creature. There's lovely musculature in the arms and the legs. I love how squat and stout the legs are. Those look so incredibly powerful and pleasing to the eye. As far as the paint scheme goes, it's a lot of browns on this one, transitioning into darker browns or other shades of browns. And it's all good. It's like the Chelantosaurus. I really like the way that they handle the transition of colors. Unfortunately, unlike the Chelantosaurus, the additional stripes that they chose to add to this Zhejiangosaurus just do not work as well. They do have a painted-on feel to them. They don't feel like they are part of the animal, and I think that's due in part because the stripe color that they chose is just too similar in tone to the rest of the body, like it's those warm, earthy colors. If they had chosen some sort of pop color to really make it more graphic, then that might have been the way to go. But as this is now, it just really feels painted on. It's not that I hate it, it's just that it felt like an afterthought, man. Like, I like the patterning, I like the shapes of the lines and everything that they've painted, but it's just how they chose to apply it just does not look the best in my book. All the other paint is great, except for the stripes. As far as the size on this model goes, it is another small figure from Vitae. It measures approximately 7 inches from tip of snout to tip of tail, which is about 18 centimeters. And then from the base here all the way to the highest point, which will be the haunches in this case, you're looking at right around, I want to say just under 1 3/4 inches off the ground, which is about 4.5 centimeters off the ground. And then from a dorsal view at its thickest point, it measures approximately, I want to say, just under 2 inches. I mean, if you get the spikes in there, it's about 2 inches wide, which is, a good size for a squat figure like that. For size comparison, here is the recently reviewed Zhejiangosaurus next to today's figure, and as you can see, they are quite similar in terms of their overall length. The Zhejiangosaurus does edge it out in terms of the height, but this also highlights the sort of disparity in paint schemes between them. The Zhejiangosaurus has that bold striping that actually is appealing to the eye and feels organic, but for whatever reason, this Zhejiangosaurus does not have that. Next up for size comparison, we're going to go ahead and bring in the Papopolacanthus. I feel like this is an appropriate comparison to make. Both are spiky, armored dinosaurs and are very similar in size. And I will say, in Vitae's defense, as far as Papo's stylistic approach goes, I'm really not feeling it. That doesn't really look like something that was a dinosaur. This one from Vitae, though, does. This looks like an actual dinosaurian creature, and I think Vitae does have more of a grasp on scientific accuracy than Papo ever will, which is saying something, because I really like Papo, as you know. Well, everyone, that is going to do it for our look at the Vitae Zhejiangosaurus. I know I am butchering that name, but yes, not a bad little figure. I think sculpturally speaking, it is quite nice for its size, and the paint scheme, aside from those stripes, is quite pleasing to the eye. I really love the armor. I really love all of that. That's all working for me. As far as an overall rating on this thing goes, I think I'm going to go ahead and give it a 7 out of 10. Again, it's kind of hard to really give my seal of approval and official recommendation on this model because of the higher price point and smaller figure, but if you like armored dinosaurs, then I think this one might be worth tracking down. As always, I want to know what you guys think of this model. Do you own it? Are you planning on picking it up? Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments section below, and if you enjoyed our review today, don't be afraid to let us know by hitting that like button, and don't forget to subscribe on the way out for more killer toy reviews. Thanks again for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.